Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. If you love anime, heartfelt reactions, and deep dives into symbolism and themes, then you are in the right place. Before we jump into today's reaction, don't forget to hit that like button to show some love, subscribe if you haven't already, and please do ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment of fun. And if you want even more exclusive content like early access to my reactions, full length anime watch alongs, and an amazing community of fellow anime lovers, please do check out my Patreon. You can find a link in the description box below. Your support truly does mean the world as it helps to keep these reactions coming, and I'd love to have you join our cozy little anime family. Today, we are reacting to episode 33 of Death Note. And things are ramping up a little bit because we've seen Mikane's background. We've seen his intensity for justice and what he believes is morally right, even to the extent that he believes his mom deserved to die for simply caring about him and trying to explain to him that the world is more complicated than he gives it credit for. And we also saw that Light is about to begin a new love affair, which he is told the police is all an act. It is just him pretending, but I think there's more to it because again, he calls her the goddess of the new world. That if she works with him, she can be the goddess of the new world, which is not something that we see him ever saying to Misa. So that strikes me as there's something more serious here between them than him and Misa. But without further ado, let's get into episode 33.
The second L, and the person I think is Kira, can only
We
be
didn't see a
one
NEARER at
man.
all in the last episode,
This is
so
Kiyomi Takada from News 6.
be nice to
I have
see
an
more of
announcement that
him.
comes directly from Kira. His words are to become the new law of the world.
I've just had an idea. I think we can make use of Kiyomi Takada. Huh? I am the real Kira.
I'm glad I googled that because if I hadn't googled it, I'd be like, why are the police not investigating him further? Because that to me would scream sus.
All the pieces have fallen into place. Now that things have come this far, it's my turn to go to Japan.
So you would like me to stay in New York while you're gone?
Not at all.
Then what's the point of me coming back there?
Truth is, I've never made travel arrangements or boarded a flight on my own before. That's why
He
I need
wants
you to come
company.
back, so you can escort me.
Yeah, he's only just 18, isn't he? Like, he's still, like, practically a kid.
We got him. Both Yoshida Productions and NHN are practically begging us now. The great Misa comeback plan was a huge success.
It'll definitely be to our advantage to have someone who can go in and out freely. In the meantime, I'll continue investigating Takada.
He's so sus. He's just like,
This is Near. I want to speak to L.
This is L. What is it you want from us?
I'm following through with my goal to arrest Kira.
Oh, he's
And
got a
that's
little
why
Christmas
I'm in
tree.
Japan now.
He's in Japan? Why tell me? He's up to something.
I presume you've already contacted Takada for the purposes of your own investigation?
Huh? That's right. In fact,
Smart
I'm
boy.
investigating her myself at the moment.
I want you to pass on a message. Inform her that as of now, several SPK members have entered Japan in order to catch and arrest Kira.
Huh? But why do that?
To
Put her
lure
under
Kira out
pressure.
of hiding. In total, there are only 4 active members of the SPK. That includes myself. Kira won't be able to resist such an opportunity. Knowing him, he won't run. Instead, he'll try to kill us before we get too close. And that's where I'll beat him at his own game.
Beat me at my own game, huh?
Light's arrogance is
Alright,
his
Near.
undoing.
If that's how you want it, I'll accept your challenge.
I am in Japan as we speak.
I am in Japan as well.
Then we'll be quite close to each other. Who knows? We might even have the chance to meet face to face.
I hope so.
Well, that'll be something to look forward to.
I'm glad that the
Yes.
ghost of
When
Elle
that
is
time
haunting
comes,
his
we'll
ass.
finish this game once and for all.
Definitely. It's all becoming clear to me. From the very beginning and even now, it's been a one-on-one fight against L. And even though he's dead, the battle's just shifted to his heirs.
Yep.
Very well, Near. Fine. I'll come out to play if you will. It's only fair after all. And when we meet, we'll find out which of us is truly prepared to win, and whose wits will prevail. When that happens, this long battle will end, and I can finally begin my reign at the top.
I think Light's cockiness is his undoing because he's like, well, I killed L, so I'm obviously going to be able to kill Near and Mellow because they're nowhere near as good as L. And that's going to be what topples him. He's going to underestimate them. He's going to believe himself so much more intelligent than the two of them put together that he's going to underestimate the fact that they are working to bring him down and that the aspects of their personality that coalesce with one another are what's going to be his undoing. Because he's not just fighting someone that has L's personality, he's fighting Mellow, who has Light's personality, which means that Mellow will know what will rile him the most, what will put the pressure on him the most, which will force him out of hiding. His cockiness is going to be the end of him.
First, let's review what we know so far. L is Light Yagami. And he's
Has
also
he made
Kira.
little Legos of them
For
all?
now, we'll call him L Kira. There's also another one. Someone who has the notebook and is currently using it. We'll call him X Kira. L Kira and X Kira can't communicate directly. They must be planning to communicate using Takada as a go-between. So, given
It's
the
the
situation
little
as it now
Legos.
stands, there are two ways to win against Kira. One, the simple way. We arrange to kill both L Kira and X Kira. However, no matter what might happen, we will never resort to that.
Why not?
That's not the way we work, Commander. That's not the way Elle and I do things. Because that would be an insult. Don't forget, Elle entrusted this case to those who came after him.
He wants to see it right the way through. He wants to capture him alive. I just don't know if that's going to be something Light will allow. I think if Light is pushed to the point that he knows there's no way out, he would kill himself.
I'm told on average it's about 200 letters a day.
Jesus.
200 letters? Wow, I'm a little jealous.
Don't say that.
Man, this is kind of boring listening to audio only without any video feed.
You should look through them, even if they are just letters from friends.
Matsuda wants to see some action. Jeez.
Keep calm as you read this note and the ones that follow. Make sure not to let the people listening to this conversation hear your reactions. Maybe you should consider making a few demands of your own.
Oh, Light's getting down to business.
You shouldn't only be a spokesperson, your voice should be heard as well. In order to create the perfect world that Kira has envisioned, I want you to begin judging and punishing people as Kira. It's all right, Kiyomi. I have faith in you. It's gonna be okay. I'm sure you'll be able to send Kira information that you don't want the SPK to know about.
All right, I'll do it.
He never trusted Misa with anything like this.
Delete.
If he's wanting her to judge, does that mean he's going to be taking the Death Note off Mikuni?
Yes?
You are to send me a fan letter that I'll be able to recognize as yours. You will also enclose something else in the envelope. 5 blank pages from the notebook. Carry on with your judgments and killings as usual until I receive
Okay.
the letter and the pages.
And how about after you receive them?
You have to stop using the real notebook. However, you must continue entering names in a fake notebook.
A fake?
That's right.
I understand.
Okay.
God.
Is this to throw off
what are you
investigators?
No, it's not my place to question God. His will is absolute.
Or is he wanting Mikuni to get
My
caught?
job is to do what God wishes.
Okay, maybe he wants Mikuni to get caught and take the fall for being Kira. In the event that there are more than 6 Death Notes in the human world, only the first 6 Death Notes that have been delivered to humans will... Oh, so there can only be 6 in existence at the same time. So basically, if there's like another 2, say like you were number 7, number 8, you would have ineffective Death Notes. Wild. 7th Death Note will not become active until one of the other 6 Death Notes is burned up or God of... Wait. Hold up. Go back. I found a bit of time to read that, but apparently not. Or a God of Death takes one of them back to the world of God of Death. Okay. So you just kind of have to wait for the inheritors to die. You'd hate to be the 7th one, wouldn't you?
What's this?
It's a replacement for Kira's kingdom.
God, what's wrong with these people?
Welcome to the show. Today, Ms. Takada will introduce her 4 new female bodyguards. The first is the winner of the 22nd World Karate Championships, Ms. Tatsumi Oyama. The second is a former CIA agent, Ms. Hal Lidner.
If there's an SPK member among these bodyguards, it would have to be Hal Lidner. Looks like Nier's conducting his own investigation of Takada.
But they can't kill her because then it's obvious.
Who would I choose to be ex-Kira? Out of all the people in the world, Takada was chosen because she's a strong supporter of Kira. So, that means ex-Kira must be someone who knew that Takada was a Kira worshipper.
Also, Kira will not forgive any crime no matter how small. From this point onwards, you should assume that any person alive is a viable target.
Literally something I have said from the get-go, that this was what it was all boiling down to. It wasn't just killing murderers or rapists or pedophiles or anything like that. It escalates into being something as little as somebody being arrested for smoking weed or stealing something from a shop, like shoplifting. That also doesn't take into account how some people are driven to shoplift because they literally need to in order to survive, in order to feed their children, in order to make sure that they have the basic necessities to get by in life. But no, now they have to starve on the streets because they're going to die. So basically what she's saying is everyone who's alive has to presume that one day they're going to be a target of Kira. How is this an ideal paradise world? We all knew that this was coming, but it's the way that people defend it as being justified, that Light just wants to create the perfect world, but the perfect world in which one little mistake, simply being arrested for smoking weed or being in possession of drugs could end up with you being killed. That doesn't seem like a valid response. It doesn't seem like a fair response. It's Godzilla.
I'd like to hear Kira's voice. I want to hear his thoughts once again. We should follow his teachings, exactly as Kira ordered. If there are no words or orders from Kira, then we have only one choice. We need to think for ourselves. We need to consider what Kira has taught us, determine what he wants most, and make our own decisions from there.
El Kira is Light Yagami. Could ex-Kira be Teru Mikami?
That's why we should be taking precautions.
Oh, the smugness.
What an idiot! She doesn't even realize that Light's just using her for his investigation.
Don't say that. You might end up dead if she hears you.
Duh, I know that. That's why I whispered it quietly. I'm gonna go kick her!
Oh, hang on!
You know what? If I was Misa, I would also kick her.
What were you trying to do?
What was I doing? What about you?
Lidner, that young lady is actually a very good friend of mine. Please, you shouldn't be so rough with her.
Of course, Miss Takada. Please, excuse me.
Misa. Are you alright?
That was so frustrating!
Okay, this is really annoying me. Since they've introduced Takada, they have now decided to really dumb Misa down in terms of showing how much more intelligent and put together Takada is in comparison to Misa. It's painfully evident that they don't think that they could have two badass women in the one show. It's become very evident that they're using them to kind of pit them against each other, and we're supposed to root for one over the other. We're supposed to root for Takada over Misa because they dumb her down and make her super annoying, whereas Takada's calm, cool, collected, oh so sophisticated and grown up. And it's just like, Misa wasn't like this at the beginning of the show, and I know people are like, yeah, but she was like that after she lost the Death Note, and I get that, but I feel like her personality shouldn't have drastically changed as much as it has done since we were first introduced to her. When she lost the Death Note, they kind of dumbed her down into being a bit of an airhead, but even then I think she still should have retained some of her characteristics from before the Death Note in the same way that Light did. It just felt like her consistency of character has gone way downhill, and it's very frustrating now that they're literally looking at it as, okay, we have to pit these two women against each other, so let's make one incredibly stupid and one incredibly cool and suave and sophisticated, and just, oh, it's painful to watch that they can't have two women very well written that don't get on. Instead of reducing them to stereotypes, they have them on an equal playing field. Like, it's not hard to do.
I have a question regarding surveillance for Elle and Takada's meetings. Are you recording both audio and video feeds of their conversations?
No. Only an audio feed right now.
Only wiretaps at the moment. How interesting. Thank you very much.
Because he suspects that they're passing notes to each other.
It's safe to assume that L Kira and X Kira have found a way to contact each other through Takada.
To be blunt, what's
They're
important
on the
is that L
tree.
starts focusing his attention on Lidner and Takada.
I
In the
love
meantime,
Nia.
we'll use
He's
the
such a
opportunity to
sweetheart.
investigate Mikami further.
How are things, Giovanni?
Well, about Mikami, it's strange. It's ridiculously easy to trail him. He also seems to be totally dedicated to his career as a prosecutor. I'm beginning to think he can't be ex-Kira.
No, there is a very high probability that Mikami is ex-Kira. Please be very careful.
But the
Don't
fake
enter his
death
room
note,
yet. Just keep watch over him for now.
like they could play it off as him solely being a fanatic than it actually being true.
To have with NHN for crying out loud.
Yes, of course. I'll ask her right now. Listen, Misa, Takada would like to have dinner with you this evening, just the two of you.
Huh? Good idea. The music festival's MC. Should have dinner with the main performer at least once. Tell her okay.
Miss Takada, she's accepted. Great. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, and Lidner, please book a nice private room for us. And also, I'd like you to attend the dinner as well.
Huh? Yes.
Is she gonna kill Misa? She's been asked to judge. But it would be too obvious if she did kill
I'm
Misa.
sorry to have to invite you to dinner so late at night. I'm afraid it had to wait until after the 9 o'clock news was finished.
No problem. I don't mind at all. I'm a night owl anyway.
So, Light must be pretty busy. How do you two manage?
Why, you? She knows that I can't see him that much, while she can be with him all the time. How dare she? Things are great between us. Light is way more affectionate than he looks, at least with me.
It sounds like you're doing well. Thank goodness.
Yes, actually, I should probably tell you since you are the MC. I'm going to announce my engagement to Light at the Pop Music Festival.
Does he know about this?
Yeah, you're not engaged.
It's an engagement. It's not as if I can get engaged to myself.
Why do I have a feeling Takada is going to be really petty?
If you're able to, that is.
What do you mean if I'm able to? What, are you not gonna let me announce it? Or maybe it's something else.
She's going to kill her.
You're gonna get Kira to kill me.
Of course not. Only Kira can decide who he's going to punish. I have nothing to do with his decisions. Besides, I've always thought of you as a good friend, Misa. You shouldn't say such terrible things.
I used to really like Kira too, you know. But I know for sure that Light's gonna catch him soon. Once he gets caught, it'll be nothing but bad news for him. And as for you, you'll probably be executed.
Miss Takada, are you all right?
It's because Misa's forgot that Light is Kira.
Listen, Kiyomi. I am the real Kira. Please.
So she thinks she has one up on
The
Misa.
goddess of the new world.
I find this unpleasant.
Oh yeah? I feel the same!
Obviously, this was a bad idea. I should have waited until you grew up and learned a few manners before I invited you to dinner.
I'm older than you, Kiyomi. And anyways, you're being childish for storming out in the middle of dinner over a silly little comment!
Oh, it's so painful to watch.
Hey, Mochi! Thanks for waiting, Mochi! How are you?
Oh my god, this is so infuriating.
Of course I am. I won after all.
What the fuck are the writers doing?
Takada and Amane. They just talked about Light Yagami. If you read between the lines, they were arguing over which one was his lover.
Light Yagami is popular with the ladies. And we know that Takada and Amane both adore him.
Near, please be serious about this.
It is serious if they're both truly in love with him. They will not
They're
easily
both going to
betray
protect him.
In fact, they'll likely do whatever he asks.
Yep. Even if they don't agree with it.
Oh, come on now, lady. I mean, wearing a short skirt like that in the winter, it's an invitation.
Please, someone!
Oh, what the fuck?
Cell phone. Mikami's just taken out a notebook.
It's a fake one, isn't it? It's not the real one.
Delete. He's writing something in it. Could that be it? He's getting off the train.
He literally just did it in broad daylight. Oh, he's a fucking liability. He's literally just done it in broad daylight in front of one of the SPK. Unless that's part of Light's bigger plan, but that's bold. That is bold. But the fake Death Note is going to kind of make it all look like a coincidence, because if there's no concrete evidence that the Death Note is real, then it just looks like Mikumi's a weird fanatic. But okay, interesting. I didn't think that it was the real one. I thought it was going to be the fake one, where he was like making the SPK think that he is the second Kira, but he is the second Kira. We know that, but I thought it was just him making him think that way. I didn't think it was going to be the actual Death Note. Jesus Christ. Okay. The whole interaction between Misa and Kiyomi is just so uncomfortable to watch. Both women are important in terms of they're both there to protect Light. They're both there to offer him a sense of cover. But God, it is cringe-worthy the way that they've written Misa in this episode. And they've only written her this way in order to make Kiyomi look superior. It's hard to watch and it's embarrassing to watch. And it's embarrassing that they literally think that in a scenario of two women being obsessed with one man, that they have to reduce one down to a bumbling idiot who gets drunk and makes a fool of herself, and the other one gets to act all suave and sophisticated. And it's just gross. I don't like it. It's very uncomfortable to watch. I think it's just such a poor way to illustrate two women in a competitive love interest. And I know people are going to be sick of me complaining about Misa's writing, but it's just something that's so prevailing in this series, and it's getting worse, which I didn't think it could possibly get worse. This has to be the cringiest depiction of her so far, and I can't. I don't know how much more I can take of this. Truthfully, I don't know how much more of this I can take. All the other characters are written so well, and then when it comes to Misa, it's just such a redundant stereotype, and it's just obvious again, they don't know what to do with her, so they just kind of put her into these weird situations and now into this weird love triangle where they then make her out to be so incredibly dumb that she couldn't possibly compare or compete or to be worthy of Light's affection. It's just bleh. I don't like it. I'm curious how this is all going to go with this fake Death Note. So we know that 5 pages have been given to Kiyomi. She's asked by Light to judge people. I'm wondering if some of these pages could also be given to Light, or has Light already got pages of the Death Note? Because he gave the Death Note back to Sido. So now we have possibly Light with pages of the Death Note, Kiyomi definitely with pages, and Mikami with the book, but now also a fake book. So it looks as if he's going to try and throw the investigators off. I don't know if this was him being careless. It doesn't feel like he would be that careless. He's so passionate about Kira and about abiding by Kira's rules and by protecting Kira that I don't think he would be that foolish, which is making me think that this is part of a greater scheme, possibly to raise SBK's suspicions. So they begin to overlook Light, they begin to focus on Mikami, and then when they finally do get close enough to Mikami to arrest him, he only has the fake Death Note, which isn't conclusive evidence and doesn't prove anything. But it also makes... But it would also reveal the names of the SBK, including Nia. Because if Nia is one of those that arrests Mikami, then it puts him in danger. Maybe that's what the plan is. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next time, bye!